from the anthology of enlightenment poems by the ancestor of Sancho, Dogen Zenji. The moon, abiding in the midst of serene mind, great waves breaking into light. Please sit comfortably if you wish. Well, this is the last Teisho of our session. Tomorrow, by this time, we will be already finished. And we are about to begin Zazen after the people who were waiting in the line go to Dogen and continue it tomorrow. So we are approaching the last part of our session. And in moments like this, I tend to think that there are two attitudes that can come forth in our practice. One of them is to say, well, I've been sitting here for more than 6 days, nothing happened. What can happen in this half a day that we have in front of us? So we give up and just use your time to just spend the rest of the session in the best way we can. This is one of the attitudes that usually come to our minds in moments like this. The second one is to try to use the rest of the time in the best way we can. So, full of anxiety and desperation, we just do our best, or we think we are doing our best. But I think the two of them can easily lead to frustration. The first one, in which we just give up and spend our time taking it easy, doesn't work in the long run. And the other one has tremendous power to accumulate tension. So we begin to be more and more tense as the last bell is approaching us. And also leads to frustration. So what can we do now? I think in moments like this, we can remember Dogen Zenji's words about practicing Zen forward. We should be clear that each step is equal in substance. So even though we speak about joy-ki, the power and energy of samadhi accumulating through days of practice, and that's enough true, what really awakens the true mind is a vertical movement moment by moment, whole body and mind, full attention and openness, without process. So, please don't wait for tomorrow for the session to end. End it right now, moment by moment. Finish our breathing, complete our move, complete our Shikantasa flashing everywhere. So we don't have nothing ahead. We have nothing below us. Just this moment is true session. Here we have a poem for today's Teisho by Dogen Zenji, who calls himself the ancestor of Sanshou, one of the Chinese patriarchs, and says, the moon abiding in the midst of serene mind, great waves break into light. In writing down this poem, Dogen Zenji keeps playing with the meaning of the words and the ideographs. And the ideograph for moon here is written in a slightly different way than normally it is done. The ideograph is Suki. And in this case, Tsu means entire or total. And Ki means possibility, capacity, function. So even though we can say still he is talking about the moon and it is still written down moon, it also reads total possibility, total capacity, total function. That moon abiding in the midst of serene mind is the first part of our poem. I see in this poem a clear affirmation of Shikantasa or deep mu or deep Zazen, call it as you wish. It's not really a method or a certain kind of technology that we practice, but it is a total expression. So to quote Suzuki Shunryu Roshi, we don't sit Zazen to achieve Buddha nature, we sit Zazen and express fully our Buddha nature. So there is no need for a step-to-step process, even though it happens by itself. But, as we said at the beginning, we settle into each step's substance. That equality in substance of each step, of each Zazen throughout space of time. That equality of Zazen that joins our Zazen with Shakyamuni Buddha's Zazen and each one of the ancestors and founding teachers. Here, our poem shows the dynamic state of Shikan. Shi meaning samatha or calm openness, and Kan coming from vipassana, attention and inclusiveness. A very dynamic state. Calm moonlight shining, sparkling on ocean waves, crashing against rocks and sand as it changes into drops. This is a poem about Shikantasa, showing true Shikantasa as the practice of sinking into mutual intimate relationship between the light of the moon, the light of total possibility, total capacity, total function, and the dance of all beings, all moments, all situations, all times. There in our Zazen and in our everyday life, we find the source of creative engagement in life. And that source is not seeing it as the mere continuation from birth to death, from the beginning of session to the end of a session. Not just that, but Shikantaza as the total experience of birth and death in a single sparkling instant of dropping away body and mind. Elsewhere in the Genjo Koan, Dogen says, birth is just like riding in a boat. You raise the sails and row with the oar. You ride in the boat, and your riding makes the boat what it is. Birth is just like riding on a boat. You ride the boat, and your riding make the boat what it is. No need to say life, our very life and practice is that boat. And obviously our riding it make the boat what it is. Riding in full attention and openness to what the boat is make our movements correct, in the sense that being appropriate to the occasion. And the ultimate of that appropriateness is the 10,000 beings advance and confirm the self. That is true responsibility. That is the ability to respond. Not the self going forward and naming and handling and manipulating the many beings, but total attention and openness in such a way that the 10,000 beings, not just one, all beings advance and confirm, authenticate the self. The Genjo Koan has something to say about this water and moon of practice. It says, awakening is like the moon reflected in the water. The moon does not get wet, nor the water is shaken. Although its light is white and great, the moon is reflected even in a puddle an inch wide. The whole moon and the entire sky are reflected in dewdrops on the grass, or in one drop of water. Awakening does not shake you, just as the moon does not break the water. You cannot hinder enlightenment, just as a drop of water does not hinder the moon in the sky. The depth of the drop is the height of the moon. Each reflection, however long or short its duration, manifests the vastness of the drop and realizes the limitlessness of the moonlight in the sky. The moon reflected in the water. Total function. The total function of the body and mind, not only dropping away, but coming forth as the drop away body and mind. Their practice is complete, in complete engagement with each moment of the mind in the now. So does the practice of Zen, if it has a specific characteristic, it is that it is the practice of total physicality. There is a certain kind of physicality in our practice, of grounding, of concreteness that is unique. And that quality of practice, I think, comes with engagement in anicca, which is the so-called one of the three signs of life. Anicca meaning change or transformation, anatta meaning no abiding self, and dukkha translating as something like suffering, but I like more uneasiness. Anicca is the fact of life, change and transformation. And our practice is engagement with that change. So we can take refuge in that sign of life, anicca. Take refuge in the power of this moment with total mind. Take refuge in the power of the freshly new situation coming forth again and again. In that way, we can drop routine or habits or our conditioning mind. Kenzo Koan continues saying, awakening is like the moon reflected in the water. The moon does not get wet, nor the water is shaken. The fact is that the most powerful change comes without a big noise. We have plenty of descriptions of enlightenment experiences full of firecrackers. But really, here Dogen Zenji is saying clearly, awakening is like the moon reflected in the water. The moon does not get wet, nor the water is shaken. The water is not shaken. And change comes easily, going to the bottom of the drop without no effort and without changing the very quality and peace of the drop. So let us don't shake the water. Let us settle in the place in which the song of the bird comes right through. And as there is no obstruction, there is nothing facing it. Comes and goes just naturally, without leaving any track. Thoughts, feelings, understanding comes and goes once and again. Our text continues saying, awakening does not shake the person, just as the moon does not shake the water. The same with love. Love doesn't shake the person, but a new quality, a fresh passion, a new willingness to dance with the dark sides and the bright sides of the world appearing moment by moment is coming forth there. The person does not hinder awakening, just as the drop does not hinder the moon in the sky, says Dogen here. No one of us hinder total enlightenment. No one of us hinder the total capacity, function, or possibility of Buddha nature. No one of us is not presenting the right point of every koan at every moment. So what's the matter? The person does not hinder awakening, just as the drop does not hinder the moon in the sky. Then comes one of my most beloved phrases in Dogen Zenji's teachings. The depth of the drop is the height of the moon. The depth of the drop is the height of the moon. Really. No depth, no height. Let us forget the moon. Just one drop, coming back home once and again, totally fresh, totally alive, with passion and joy. Just one drop of total openness. We ourselves disappear. Just one drop of full attention. That is the height of the moon. Continues Dogen Zenji saying, when Dharma does not fill your whole body and mind, you think it is already sufficient. When Dharma fills your body and mind, you understand that something is missing. Yeah, I read it right. When Dharma fills your body and mind, you understand that something is missing. But that very thing that is missing is complete in itself. Let us settle there.